Welcome back to From Nine to Mom.
where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos that we call motherhood.
And today we have a very special guest, Nina, who is a personal brand stylist for high achieving women. Nina and I, we've known each other about a year now, maybe a little longer. And we met here locally in Rochester. We've bonded over doing a lot of the same work, working together, and doing a lot of collaboration. And it finally made sense for Nina to do some styling for both Danielle and I, just as we have gotten into this stage of motherhood. But today we want to talk about all the things style, how it shifts with motherhood, and building wardrobes that work. And of course, we'll dive into what Nina's done for us. But thanks, Nina, for joining us today.
So happy to be here. Thank you for letting me come on and speak with you ladies.
We're excited because we went through some of Nina's process to do some styling. She created us both some lookbooks, and we're going to dive into some of that. But we got them last week, and Danielle and I were so excited, even though we didn't respond to you.
Yeah,
We
sorry,
both
Nina.
loved we left you hanging completely. But before we dive into some of it, can you tell us a little bit about you, how you got into personal brand styling and what you're working on now?
Oh my gosh, it's a long and winding road. As a 42-year-old woman, I am here to tell you that I've had 100 different jobs, and all of them have always been rooted in helping women feel really amazing about themselves. I grew up, my mom is a hairdresser, and so I grew up with this vibe of like, you don't leave the house feeling messy or looking messy. There might be some trauma attached to that. But
My family
Definitely.
was the same.
we used to iron our jeans. Like, we never could
Amazing.
be like ragamuffin, like, those were real words in my house growing up.
Nina, I love that you just used the word ragamuffin, not to interrupt, but my daughter, they wrote us a note home because she told a child they looked like a ragamuffin on picture day. So maybe we have some shared trauma together. So
Is that
thank
a
you for sharing
Rochester
that word.
term? Ragamuffin is a
Might be a
Rochester term.
Rochester term, I'm not sure. No,
Unique
but
to
I
Rochester, but continue. Sorry. Just
no,
had to
that's fine.
share that
I
you're not alone.
can't look like a ragamuffin. No, but I grew up here. I moved away for a little bit. Like I said, I've had 100 different jobs, but really the styling kind of is has always been threaded through my life. I had a style blog that I started around 2009 till about 2016. It really started to kind of document my life. I was studying to be an Irish dance teacher to get my Irish dance teaching certification, and there's a lot of fashion threaded through all of that, oddly enough. And, I've always been a photographer. And so took my own photos, did the thing, and then it was time for a career pivot. I had lost my corporate job, and so I went into retail. And so then I was able to style real women in everyday scenarios who were shopping in the stores I worked at, and I learned a lot about the difference of being like the influencer versus like stylist. And so then I don't know, I started like styling my friends and doing this thing kind of on the side. And then I'm a self-taught marketer and a self-taught photographer. Like, I took some classes in high school, but I use all of that now to kind of help inform how I help women visually impact their personal brand, whether it's through photography or wardrobe styling. I am, self-employed now, but most recently I worked for a luxury photography studio in Rochester, and I used to see countless women coming in for all different kinds of photo shoots, boudoir, family, headshots, brand, and whether they elected to be there or they didn't, there was this thread of like not really understanding what photographs well, what they should be wearing, colors that look good on them, silhouettes that look good on them. And there's like, I think just this confusion of like what people like on themselves and what they like in general. And so I was like, this is a real thing that women need. And I think I can help. So that's kind of the long story.
Yeah. Well, and I think it ties perfectly into, I think, where Danielle and I were thinking of like, we're going into summer, we're moms, we both have full time jobs, we're traveling, we're going to events, we're doing local, networking and that. And we feel like we have so many versions of
Yes.
ourselves. And that was like a big reason why we're like, maybe we need to do the lookbooks because sometimes it's hard to go from like drop off to be sitting on a
No,
business
totally.
meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the transition part is hard. And I think too, when you become a mom, your body change, everything changes, right? Like over and over again. We're constantly changing. And I found that the what excites me, and I know we're gonna talk about the lookbook more, but working with a personal stylist, having you work through this with us is that I have so much overwhelm and decision fatigue in my life already. And then I walk into my closet, and Katie, you were just here, so you can attest to this. I gave Katie clothes because I'm like, I never wear these. Like, I don't, they're beautiful brands. It's not even like they're not great clothes. They don't suit my body. Katie's much taller than me. What am I doing with these jeans that are tall enough for her? They clearly are not great for me. But in the moment, they felt comfortable and we just hold on to so much. Like, how do you capsulate a wardrobe and make that decision fatigue minimized while still being able to play all the different roles in the in an instant? And that's
Yeah,
like the biggest piece, I feel.
it's truly like helping women find pieces that translate into all sectors of their lives. I love that like a drawstring or like elasticated waist pull-on pant is having a moment right now because I'm like,
Yeah, amen.
wear that to work, wear that to mom in, chase the
Yeah,
kiddos around, like pants, shorts, they've all got elastic waists. I'm like,
It's a
this is
beautiful thing.
wonderful.
it has been, like, the best thing. But I think let's dive into the lookbooks because we wanna talk about the process of it. So, will you talk about your process when you, create a lookbook? What's that process from start to delivery?
Yeah. Well, you when a client books a lookbook with me, they just purchase it. And a lot of times there's no interaction with me at all. I might not know them. I happen to know the two of you decently. So it was maybe a little bit easier for me. But in the questionnaire, when you book, there's a part where I want you to send me a Pinterest board. And that's really the only indication of who you are that I'm getting. So it's really important that that is, like, kind of on point, and then there's, like, a long question area where I ask you to tell me 3 to 5 things that you're wearing all the time and or you love to wear all the time, whether it's, like, Katie, I think you said that you were, like, defaulting to leggings a lot, and so I think in that, I was trying to give you some suggestions that weren't legging outfits so that you could feel inspired to maybe not pull those on because I think that there's a couple other pairs of pants that are just as easy to wear and look great with everything else you could wear with leggings that aren't. And like, there's nothing wrong with leggings and athleisure, but I think a lot of times because of the decision fatigue, not even just moms, but like high achieving women that have high
Yeah.
powered jobs and just a lot on their plate, that's a lot of decision fatigue. And so when we can kind of like make decisions easier. And so that's really kind of the process. I go through, like I said, I knew a little bit more about your two lives because we know each other.
Yeah.
So, like Danielle, I knew you needed like some more corporate leaning attire that could also translate into like your casual life and your life with your kids. And Katie, I know you already are kind of like more of a sporty, casual vibe happening. So I tried to really like lean into those vibes. Your Pinterest boards also told me that. So, which was great.
Well, yeah. I have a question about Pinterest boards. But before I say that, I will say that answering the questionnaire, it was so easy. I thought it was going to be a lot harder. It was very easy, but even just answering those questions of like, what are the 5 pieces I always go to and what am I wearing? It made me think about like, what am I always reaching for? Like, what am I always putting on my body that's clearly like good or bad? Like, those are the pieces that I need in my wardrobe. Everything else is kind of fluff there. But so I thought that was cool on our end too, feeling it was easy to do, but also made us think. But when it comes to Pinterest boards, I'd had my Pinterest board. I know Katie, you had your Pinterest board. I added more for the sake of like the styling piece of it. Do you suggest that women have a Pinterest board for like each this is where I struggle. Like I'm going to a festival, okay, like a music festival next weekend. I'm going Vegas this week for an aesthetics conference. 2 very different vibes. I wanted to give you some of the festival looks because I would wear those out, but like I didn't want to put them on my board because I also didn't want you to make me a whole board of like thing. Not that you would, but like you do separate boards. Like how do you compartmentalize that, or should we not?
Well, it depends. Don't look at my Pinterest because it's a hot mess. It's a mess. But I've started to kind of organize it a little bit. So I have a board for myself that is when I find something that I feel fits my 3 words that I use to help direct my personal style, I save it there. Then I have, like, one that says, "I own this," and it's
That's good.
literally clothes that I know I own, combinations I haven't thought of before, so then I save it there. Then I started like a spring, and some people do spring, summer, autumn, winter boards, but I kind of just find that I don't ever look back at them if I do that. So yeah, baseline, I might suggest like an I own it board because I feel like what do you go to Pinterest for? You're looking for some kind of inspiration to get dressed in
Yeah,
that moment. I don't want to look at a bunch of stuff that I don't have.
true.
Especially if you can't look at an inspiration photo and say, like, "I like the shape that those pants are wearing. I have a pant that looks different, but is a similar shape." And start to, like, pick things apart, which is another thing that I work with, like, my one-on-one clients on. I'm like, "Okay, what is it about this inspiration photo that you actually are drawn to and you like?" Because it might not be the exact pieces themselves. It might just be like a certain styling element or the shape that the clothes are making or the way that they, tied something around the neck instead of the waist or, whatever. Yeah. So it's really a personal preference, but yeah.
I like the idea of finding things because one of the items that I told you that like my go-to is my Adidas sneakers. Like I have them in the 2 colors. You incorporated them to the lookbook, which is amazing because that's what I wanna wear, like that I like them, but I do find like outfits on Pinterest like I've done that search before of like outfits with like the Adidas court sneakers and I save them, but it's smart to like put them into a book like that. But
Or
I
I
wanna
make
go ahead.
so sorry. I just want to say, like, even before I buy something new, if I'm even questioning whether I can make it work, this weekend I just bought these like chunky sandals. And I looked in Pinterest while I was in the store, chunky black sandal outfits, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I can style these. That's
I can
fine."
make
Yeah.
this work. No, it's smart. I've been finding myself, like, looking at it for events and things, like, trying to put different things together, but, yeah, it's smart to think about what we have. So, when you were making ours, what were some of the things that you were trying to achieve for both of us in those?
Well, I wouldn't be a good stylist if I didn't try to stretch you and have you start to think about your clothes and the pairings of them differently, right? So I think Katie, for you, I threw in there like a couple things that have a little bit more feminine details than I
Mhm.
think you normally wear, but I was like, well, she's either not gonna take this or she might be like, that's interesting that I could wear like a more feminine kind of like peasant top with Adidas like shorts and my sneakers and look cool and still kind of feel like myself. So that's usually my goal is to give you more ideas so that you can get more wear out of your clothing and like have some formulas in your brain already so that you can have that ease of dressing every morning.
Yeah, and I think that's, like, something that, for a lot of moms, like, thinking of working with a stylist, you're like, "Wait a second, like, I have a baby that's spitting up on me 24/7, so, like, how am I gonna, like, incorporate new things?" And it can be really overwhelming, so that's why we go to the default outfits, but that's where, like, these I feel like are helpful because you kinda recreate what those default outfits are a little bit. But what about
I was just gonna say there's sometimes some fear around wearing the clothes, and so that definitely is like when I'm helping women, especially moms, we're looking at trying to help with ease, repeatability, and to combat the fear of wearing your clothing. I'm someone who does not have any human children, and I still walk around with a Tide pen in my bag. Like, I don't wanna be fearful of wearing anything, but the moment we can kind of, like, make dressing easy, make it repeatable for you, and combat that fear, then it helps you feel great every day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about mine first, Danielle, but
Fine.
I really love and we're gonna share both of our lookbooks so you guys can see because I feel like if you guys are somebody that listens to our podcast, you kinda get mine and Danielle's personalities. And
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that, like, scared me or I was like, "I don't know that I would, like, buy that," was the top you're talking about, like, that more, like, peasant looking like that top. And, well, actually, you know what?
But Nina, we went shopping and she bought a peasant top. That little brown
I
top you bought
did.
and wore looks
I
so
guess it's
good
kind
on you.
You're right, you're right. I'll have to send you a picture of it. It was a little more feminine than I usually go. The other one was and I think Danielle and I both struggle with this, and we've talked about it a million times, so you need to, like,
You need to
either
help us
comfort
because I
us.
know what you're
We
going with.
we both hate button-down tops on ourselves. Like, we both hate them, and we don't know if it's because we have big boobs and we just don't like the fit, but anytime we both, like, love the outfits, we love how they look, and then we put them on and we're like, "We hate how this looks."
Like
Like, why does
polos, button downs, they've always scared me. I have one button down, Katie, you know what it is? And Nina, we're talking about Katie's lookbook, but mine was striped and I love stripes. So I would wear a striped like shirt, but like, can we like, yeah, we need to talk about button downs in general. Is it because we have big boobs? Is there some kind of childhood trauma
But yeah,
that's
you might not be
associated with
going big
this?
enough. I feel like they are very easy to wear if they're a little oversized, regardless of boob
Okay.
situation. Because I have like decent size boobs, but I will wear it with like just a bralette underneath and only
Okay.
button one button so that it's very like unstructured. So I think
Okay.
that maybe
I would
try
do
to
that.
play around with styling it a little bit or like button a couple buttons and maybe tuck one side in and leave the other side kind of hanging out.
Yeah. I feel like, Danielle, you did that one shoot where you wore a white one and you
Yeah.
hated every single picture from it,
Well, a white one feels very structured and corporate.
right?
I just feel like it made me look now I wore a lot of button downs in the breastfeeding phase because that was like what you
Yeah.
do. But like this one felt and maybe it's material. It was stiff. So it felt like I wanted it to be cute, but it just laid funny and it did not flatter my body at all. But also, and Katie, I think yours had this too. I've never layered a button
Mm.
down the way you put it on the board. So I am curious to see, except in high school, I mean, a uniform in high school, and I would cut the actual shirt off and just wear the like
Yeah.
I
collar over
definitely
For the collar.
over that.
How very 80s baby of you.
We had uniforms and it was so hot in our school, and I was like, "I'm sweating to death. I have to wear a sweater and this shirt." No, my boobs are
Yeah.
already like
Yeah. Yeah.
struggling.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that there's a piece that every single person should have in their closet because I don't believe that. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, everyone should have a white button down. No, if it's not your style, it's not your style. I'm a big button up girl, so that might have been projected onto your lookbooks. But I do feel like there are ways to style it for you. Like, I like to wear mine over just like a tank top and shorts and just like leave it open and kind of almost like a blazer. But again, if it's like very fitted, it's not going to achieve the same.
Yeah, that's probably the issue that we like. We're thinking of like fitted
I know.
or
I
too
think too
oversized, like men's. Like it has to be the
yeah.
right tucked
Yeah.
in. Like I would do that. I think.
I do like them, like, open too, like, wearing them more open, but I think where it stems down to is, like and this goes for, like so we're moving away from, like, just a button up, but, like, anything really oversized, I'm like, it's making me look bigger,
Mm,
and then, like, also don't wanna wear anything super tight because I'm like, I don't
You could do my
love
roll
that,"
or
and I feel
whatever.
like that's something every mom goes through with, like, feeling back to normal or just feeling comfortable in what they're wearing. So I don't wanna wear something that's gonna make me look bigger, but I also am like, "Okay, I'm not gonna wear, like, the most form-fitting thing either."
yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. And you could there's like other things you can do too. So like the one look in your lookbook, Katie, where I styled it with the brown sweater that you like
Mhm.
to wear.
Yep.
For that, I was thinking like if you tied it around your waist. Now, of course, we're getting into like a warmer season. So this is only gonna work. And you can maybe do it with shorts as well.
Yeah.
But tying it around your waist helps define your waist and like kind of bring the eye line in a little bit. So even if you're wearing something that's a little bit flowier or oversized for you, it should kind of like draw the eye line in. There's other like tricks to like styling the, you know, sweater around your waist that help kind of like flatter your body. So if you pull it a little bit up higher in the back on the small of your waist, but then tie the knot lower down by your hip bone, it just creates like a nice like V shape.
Okay. I like that.
So, but these are not things that you would naturally know to do if you've never been told to do them before. And if you don't take time to kind of like play around with your clothes in your closet, which a lot of moms, it's really hard to find 10 or 15 minutes to like play in
I
there, but just like
yeah.
we did as little girls, you have to kind of just put things on your body and figure out how they look at
Katie,
you
you
and
know,
how they make you
you
feel.
feel. I love a good
Yes.
fashion show. Katie knows this. I think it drives her
No.
nuts.
It is funny when Danielle, because we were just together and she's like, "All right, we need to try every outfit on that we're gonna wear tomorrow to this event and that," and I'm like, "No, like, I'm going to bed." I'm
Like,
just
no, I need you. I need you to tell me. I think I've always been I love fashion and clothes, like, and shopping. Like, I really, truly do. And I think one of the big things for me, the mistakes that I've made over my life is is the trends. And I think right now we're going a little bit away from the lookbook and we'll get back into the lookbook because I do have some stuff I want to share about mine too. But like trends are hard at this phase of life. Let's just say high achieving women and moms alike. It doesn't matter. Like if you even women, right? We are not we don't fit in right now in this age group that we're in into either style. Like I either feel like sometimes I'm like struggling, like, am I going to Talbots and borrowing like my grandmother's that there's nothing and now Talbots like when I see the clothes, they're not that far off from my life all the time. But what I'm saying is like you either feel like you're dressing too old for yourself or too young. And a lot of the styles, like we grew up in jeggings, leggings, tight pants, low rise, which are coming back and now I don't want to wear. But now the style is like baggy and wide. Like, what is your take on women buying trends? How much should we lean into that? What are the mistakes that people are making around that?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Let's go back in time to when we were kids and teenagers, right? We would get a
Mhm.
magazine. There would be maybe three things that we saw in there that were kind of new to us, trending for the
Yeah.
season, and that was it. Now, today in 2026, there's like six different trends cycling at any given time, new ones every week. It's really hard to keep up with.
Yes.
And so I always tell clients like if you find a trend that you love and it speaks to how you want to show up in the world and how you think of yourself, it's going to elevate what you already wear or make what you already wear feel more like you or more in line with the person you're becoming, then yeah, go for it. You also have to consider what's the price point? Does it fit my budget? Is it worth the investment? I don't necessarily believe that fashion is an investment, but there are some pieces that are worth spending a little bit more money on and so that you can get your cost per wear out of them. It's really personal preference. I love me a good trend. I don't think I'm spending $1,000 on a trending shoe. I'm trying to find $50 option,
So,
you
like,
know?
splurge on like, on the pieces that you're gonna wear over and over again, and then like, do you believe in testing out a trend too? Like you said, like, okay, find the $50 option, test it out. If you're wearing it every day, then
Love that. That's something that I do for myself. I find that if you can find it in your price point and you just want to kind of like dip your toe in, you think you might only wear it a couple times, then go for it. Look at these are my shoes I have on today for those watching in the video.
oh, we need to
Jelly
Yeah.
talk about those.
filled flip flops, right? Like I spent $20 on these because I was like, I might wear them twice. I don't know. We're gonna give this a
Yeah.
whirl.
Yeah, right?
But you can buy those in any price point up to thousands of dollars, which is crazy because they're rubber,
It's insane.
Sure.
which
Yeah.
can get really insane. Yeah. I love that you mentioned earlier, Danielle, that you do Newly because renting clothes is another really great, like sustainable and then like budget friendly way to try a trend. I think I did Newly, like, in the fall, and I tried, like, a fringe jacket, which I did end up buying from Newly, but
I love to
I
buy
was like,
fringe.
"I wanna see if I can, like, make a fringe jacket work for myself," so I rented a couple different styles, and there we go. I ended up with it in my wardrobe, so
Yeah, renting has made my life a lot easier because there's just so much change and those trend pieces. Like I'm not going to wear the same outfit. I know it sounds bad, but like some of the conferences I go to are always the same people, but there are items like my lookbook. You put a pair of the satin brown shorts. I have a satin black skirt that has lace on the bottom from Zara that's very similar, and I wear it all the time. But
yeah.
like you can't wear it to a sports game. I could wear these shorts with the tee to the sports game with my on clouds that you paired here together in transition. So like I rented them from Newly. They're supposed to come today, like a similar style, just to see like how I feel about them. And then if I like them and I wear them, I'm gonna buy.
And that's another piece that there's, like You can find them on Amazon all the way up to like Kate, which is like a very high-end luxury. Like you can find them pretty much at any price point. So those are
Yeah,
great.
I think I haven't gotten onto the renting bandwagon of that yet because 1, there's like a million different options for those, and I think Danielle would kill me if I didn't use her like referral code for Newbie. But my sister started doing it, and it does seem like a really good option for moms because one of the questions we wanted to ask you was like, how do we like as moms, like a lot of stuff from pre-babies don't fit us. We hold on to it. But then like buying a whole new wardrobe at whatever that postpartum weight maybe is, then you're gonna fluctuate depending if you're like if you lose weight quick or some gain more, like you fluctuate so many times. Like at one point, I think I had like 5 different sizes of jeans because I'm like,
I
I
told you
don't know
I
which
do
one's
have
gonna
5 different sizes of
like
jeans.
which one's gonna fit me today. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. It's really hard. I would make friends with a really great tailor
Good point. Yeah.
and just find something in a price point that you feel comfortable with. If you could only wear it for a few months, like maybe never wearing it again. So I'm talking like H&M, Old Navy, maybe the Gap. You're buying anything from those places full price, you're doing it wrong. They buy very deep in their stock, so you should be able to get something you want if you wait for it to go on sale or when they run a promo.
Yeah.
But if you buy something a little bit bigger, no one knows what the size is except for you, you know? And then if you lose a little bit of weight and you want to get it tailored because you love them, then you can get it, you should have some space and a good tailor should be able to bring them in for you. And Danielle, they should bring them up for you too if they're too long.
Well,
Like
I
if you have
miss,
a
like, the
really great pair of
limited
jeans that like, you know?
because they would tailor them right there, like, the limited would tailor pants, so I would only go there for so long because they would do it
Yeah.
for you, but I do use it. I will say that that's like a hack that I've it's not a hack, but like you just said, getting a good tailor and getting things I tend to buy them bigger or longer and have them make them my size
You can make
because
a $30 to $50 pair of jeans look like a $200 pair of jeans just by making sure they fit your body properly. Like the clothes today are not made to fit a modern woman and the changes and fluctuations that a modern woman goes through. The clothes that are made today are as a holdover from World War II when we started making surplus, no, for real, when we started making surplus clothing cut in generic sizes based on average size people.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah.
crazy to think about.
clothes off the rack are not meant to just like magically fit you.
Yeah. How much because I don't know, because I don't tailor anything. Usually, I have to buy, like, longs, and then I just accept the way they all fit. Because 'cause I'm probably somewhere between a regular and a long,
Yeah.
typically.
Yeah.
How much does it
100%
cost?
and a petite.
Yeah.
It depends.
So
Sydney
it
Kenya.
depends on the tailor. I go to the Thimble tailor locally. Fatima is she's incredible. And I think a tailoring for length is like maybe 20 bucks. And
Okay.
depending on how much you need taken in, it can be anywhere from 40 to 60. But again, if you're buying something that's like a decent quality fabric, she could do it even if it has some stretch in it. I personally tend to try to buy the least amount of spandex in my jeans possible, but that's my personal preference. A lot of women really like stretchy jeans. If your jeans are really stretchy, I would wear them a few times and let them stretch out to their maximum stretch potential, and then go on
Yeah.
tailor because then they're going to fit you and they won't bag out further from there. But yeah, it just depends. But if you know that you're gonna wear a piece more and get more cost per wear out of it than spending up to $50 to get something tailored so that it fits you properly and makes you feel really great, I think is worth it.
Okay, do you know my leather skirt?
Mhm.
The leather skirt. I
The
spent more on it than would normally spend. It was from Ever Eve. It's a trend piece, I thought, but I was looking for one forever, and they all had too much stretch. Like they did not look good on me, so I bought one. It was probably like 150 bucks, which I would never normally do. I wore it constantly. Katie can attest to it. It was like my go-to skirt. I lost weight and I was panicking because I was like, I this is my skirt. I took it to the tailor for 35 bucks. They took it in, took it up. I'm still wearing the same skirt and it's totally worth it. So like I think about the times that I've spent $20 or $30 on something that I ended up like having to buy multiple times. The skirt has more than paid for itself, but I do think it's sometimes hard to know when to do that. And then the other thing that kind of leads into this is how often should we be looking at our wardrobe and refreshing our wardrobe realistically?
Twice a year.
Okay.
And that's not to say that you need like a whole new winter wardrobe every winter and a whole new spring and summer wardrobe every time the season changes. But I like to do girls put your clothes away for the season, then you'll maybe not use so much
I
since
do
you
a little bit, like a little bit away. Yeah.
every spring I pull out this actually happens in shifts because it just decided to be summer, spring, summer here.
Yes.
So
That's
I
so
do
sweet.
leave a lot of my sweaters out because I will still wear them through the early summer. But most of my winter stuff I put away and then I pull out the spring and summer stuff that went away. And I look at it and I'm like, what's the condition of this item? Do I still like it? I put it on my body. Can I still wear it with the things that I'm loving to wear right now? And then what do I need, either replacements or what new kind of styles do I want to bring in? And I like to make that audit when I'm doing the swap twice a year. And I don't like to cut anything until it's the next season, which sounds crazy because you're storing clothes that you might end up getting rid of. But I just feel like you got to let it, you might have gotten sick of it or you might not have worn it, but it might be back in style next season.
Yeah, that's
So
smart.
I'm just like, you never know.
Do you
Yeah,
help
if you
people with
don't,
that? Like if they work with you as your personal stylist, you'll do that with them?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, we can do that on the virtual sessions and in my signature edits.
I think we have to do the rapid fire
Yes,
section that we put on
absolutely.
here.
But yeah,
So we had a couple ones that we're gonna and you give us your best answer. So what's one item every mom should throw away right now?
God, your
Just say
leggings.
it.
So
Leggings.
sorry.
Katie?
I know.
That's half my
Don't hate
wardrobe.
me. Listen, please
No,
buy
you
a
gotta say it.
drawstring pant in like a cotton poplin or like a silky fabric. That is going to replace your leggings. Pair it with exactly how you would pair your leggings. Put a little flip flop on, put a little sneaker, done.
I like it. I'm gonna try I'm getting those 2 pants that are in there for sure. I'm gonna go for it. What is the biggest style myth that you want to kill?
Ooh, I think this just goes back to sizing. Everyone is just gets like really caught up with the size that's in the garment. And again, I just want you to think about how are we wearing our clothes these days? How does it make you feel when you put it on your body? Do you feel pinched and squeezed? And is it going to make you feel fussy?
That's a great way to say it. Like
Right?
you don't want to be
Yeah,
fussy. Babies shouldn't be fussy, neither should we.
No, absolutely not. Sometimes you got to be in a fussy outfit, but like that should not be your everyday.
right? Yes.
What's the best place to shop on a budget?
Yeah, I definitely think Old Navy, Gap, H&M I'm loving right now. I'll even say Zara. I know people are going to cry about it those being fast fashion brands, but if you go in with the lens of like look at the fabrics, you can buy a lot of cotton at Old Navy and Gap right now, and while might not be like the best quality cotton, like cotton still is going to last longer than polyester. Go to H&M and Zara for like a little bit more of your trend forward pieces that you're just going to kind of sprinkle in to refresh and feel modern and great.
I think we have to also ask where do you feel like the best value is? So like if you're gonna go to that next level up for a good value still.
I think Madewell is probably the best. It's one of my favorites that I suggest for my clients and myself. Their denim is to die for, and they make the best accessories that are
The
leather,
best.
the best, like handbags and shoes. It feels like $1,000 item for like maybe $200
And
and
they
they
have great
last
sales.
forever.
They really do have great sales here and there.
And they have great, yeah, they really do have great sales.
I just
Their denim
inherited
is
2
really, really great too.
my first 2 denim pieces from there I inherited from Danielle.
Yeah.
They were too
I
way
love
too long
them.
on her, and they're like ankles on me.
So I just need to go in and get, or maybe like next time I'll tailor them. Who knows? But Katie,
Right.
they looked
Thank
way
you.
better on you than me. You
Madewell is part of
mentioned,
the J. Crew family. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
J. Crew is actually like kind of having a
you just bought
renaissance right
these from
now, and
there,
it's
Katie.
being a little bit
That's your
more
Yes.
like
husband's mom.
preppy. They do have also really great sales. So I would say that that's probably also a step up from the Gap. Old Navy vibe.
You mentioned your style. You have 3 words. I wish we
Yep.
had another hour because I wanna come up with 3 words for our style, but what are your 3 words for your personal style?
My 3 words have evolved 100 times in the last couple of years just because my lifestyle has changed. So, first thing I'll say is don't be afraid of auditing, evaluating, and changing. Mine are minimal, sporty, and cool.
Mm, I like it.
I identify
Oh,
with
you
it.
need like a cool, edgy vibe in yours. And Katie, you definitely have like a classic, sporty kind of vibe.
Yeah,
It's
we're
so
gonna
fun.
come to you. We're gonna work on our 3 words
I
and come
know
to
we
you
need
and
to.
see if you approve. And then what is one thing you'd tell a pre-mom person about, like I guess that's a hard thing to say, like, getting dressed. We were not moms before, and then we became moms. Like, when we get dressed in the morning, what's the thing we should be looking for as we get dressed?
Things that make you feel like who you are on the deepest depths of yourself. Because I think the number one thing that I find all the moms around me is that they feel that they've lost a little bit of themselves when they become a mom and become a caretaker. And the more clothes that you can put yourself in that make you feel that again, the more aligned you're going to feel with who you are and the better you're going to feel.
Adding one question because that was a beautiful answer. There's one piece that I don't feel does that for me, but I also feel like I need to get behind. Kitten heels, are they really back? Because you're wearing them today.
I cannot physically wear high heels anymore.
The kitten heel's the cheat code.
Especially after COVID, but I have neuromas in my feet because I Irish danced for 30 years. That's a whole different thing, but I love a good kitten heel. We call them a bitchy heel around here. They
Ooh.
have a little bit of attitude. You look elevated, but you can literally run in them.
So you're saying yes, they're here
I'm
to
saying
stay.
yes. They're
I
here to
think I'm
stay.
gonna get a pair because I don't wear heels because I always, like, don't wanna add more height usually, but I think, like but I feel good when I wear like, if I'm in a business setting, like, I you feel something when you're wearing heels,
Just
but
make sure a nice pointed toe is going to further elongate your leg line, which especially for you, Danielle, that's what we want. We want to look long and tall. So that's going to help.
We'll take any suggestions
okay.
on the comfortable pairs because I tend to wear open toe a lot, but I know that they cut my leg off a little bit, so I want the pointed toe, but
Here from Target, I'll send you that I love.
okay, thank you, and then we'll share it.
Alright, so anyone out there that hasn't seen Nina, you guys probably have because we've tagged her in multiple of our photos. She has taken all of our branding photos for From 9 to Mom, so if not, make sure you follow her on Instagram. She's always giving lots of trends, tips, get ready with me's. It's awesome. But Nina, any way else people can find you, how do they book their own lookbook with you?
Yeah, you could go right to my website in the shop, the style shop. You can book your lookbook. I also have a Substack called the Style Brief. And so I usually put 2 articles out each week. One's like a meteor piece with lots of styling tips, and one is just like a inspiration of what to wear the weekend. And yeah, Instagram has a lot of stuff too. So follow me over there.
We'll make sure we link everything up, but thanks for coming and chatting with us,
Thanks so much for
and
having me.
we'll see you all next time. Thanks.